Hello, people. Welcome back to the channel. Don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe to the Propaganda Machine. This is the Game Week 9 review, and usually we always start with the Gunners, but not this time, as there has been breaking news. Eric Ten Hag, aka Goldilocks and his three hairs, has been sacked from Man United. So West Ham beat Man United 2-1 on the weekend, and as it turns out, that was the first El Sackico of the season because Lopetegui was also under significant amounts of pressure, but he lives to fight another day, and who knows, maybe this might just be the start of a run for West Ham. Now, looking back at Ten Hag's tenure, he won 2 cups, which he seems to always be reminding everyone of. He didn't let that go, which it was a very proud thing, a proud moment for him clearly, as he got the League Cup in his first season and finished third, and then he got the FA Cup, which is a bigger trophy, but their league position all the way down to eighth, slid all the way down to eighth. So Ten Hag, his tenure, it started off good. You could say third and a trophy is not bad, although there were some historic beatings in there. The 6-3 against City, the 4-0 against Brentford, the 7-0 against Liverpool. Ten Hag has embarrassed Man United so many times. 4-0 against Crystal Palace. The list goes on. Even this season, 3-0 at home to Liverpool, followed up with a 3-0 at home against Tottenham. No wins in Europe this season. 3 games. They are sat 21st out of 36 teams in the Europa League. Can you imagine that? They're only in the playoffs by goal difference, because there's about 6 or 7 teams with 3 points, just like Man United. Can you imagine this embarrassment? No wins. It is not looking good for Ten Hag. Also, no wins in Europe for 12 months since beating Copenhagen. 1 win in 11. It was time to go. Me and my cousin made a bet. I told him Ten Hag will be gone by Christmas, by the new year. He won't see 2025. And I've won. But I've lost. It's come at a cost because Ten Hag was useless. My cousin seemed to believe he'll turn things around, and I wish Man United kept him, because now they can at least move on to bigger and better managers. Ruben Amorim is one of the names on the list, so maybe it'll be him. Nagelsmann, I'm not sure if he's open to joining. Thomas Frank, I've also heard. So, but at this stage, Amorim looks the favourite. Another thing about Ten Hag, he spent £610 million. 12 players he bought. That is crazy. Only in 3 summer windows. 3 summer windows. If we look at summer, to spend 85 million on Anthony. By God, he's probably the worst signing in Premier League history. Him and Mikhailo Mudryk. 2 disgraceful players. Casemiro, 70 million. He had 1 outstanding season. Then he's just regressed. Mason Mount, 60 or 50 million with 1 year left on his contract. The man barely kicks a ball. He's literally a hospital patient. Even Reece James is fit, but Mason Mount isn't fit. Can you imagine this? Malacia. Oh my God. I forgot he was a footballer. I forgot he was a footballer. It even sounds like a stripper's name. This guy, he never fit. He's probably not even played 10 games. He doesn't have 10 starts for Man United. I doubt it. That has been a shambolic by Ten Hag. I'm actually trying to think. I'm going to go as far as saying not one signing has been a success at Man United. Not one. Lisandro Martinez, good first season. Second season, injured. Third season, he even got dropped from Maguire and Neves, him and De Ligt, so they can't be a success. Euro, injured. Haaland, not done too bad, but you wouldn't say a success. Onana, he's probably been the best signing out of the bunch. And look at what he did when he was chucking in goals left, right, and centre. But this season, at least he's looked semi-capable. So, who do you actually think is Man United's worst season in this Ten Hag reign? Because I would probably go with Mason Mount. I'd go with Mason Mount just over Anthony because he's actually played in the Premier League. So it shouldn't have been a shock to him, life in the Premier League. At least Anthony, I think he's got 11 goals and maybe 4 assists or something like that. At least he's actually had some sort of contribution. Mason Mount has been a disastrous signing. And I think Man United need to start cutting their losses with a lot of players. There's probably 5 that can go in January and another 10 that can go in the summer because the Ten Hag era needs to be eradicated. It needs to be wiped off the face of the Man United history because he was a disaster and made you all a laughing stock in England. That's my take on Manchester United and Ten Hag. Now we'll go into the Gunners game. Arsenal 2, Liverpool 2. Oh, this it's a game that you kind of get left with a bad taste in your mouth. Bad taste. It's bittersweet. Saka and Timber came back. We were so happy, but then Gabriel went off, and his replacement Kivior did not help matters. Between him and Miles Lewis-Skelly, there was a miscommunication. You would say I would more blame Kivior because he's the experienced pro. I don't know what he was doing. At least Lewis-Skelly was trying to get back. Kivior, he misread the flight of the ball. I don't know what he was doing. He just left it. And instead of sprinting into the middle, you sprint to that penalty spot. You sprint. If he sprint to that penalty spot, maybe he could have stopped Salah. But no, I don't know what he was doing. And in the end, we ended up dropping points again. We've dropped points so many times this season from winning positions. Was leading against Brighton, dropped it. City, dropped it. Liverpool, dropped it. We can't keep dropping these points. And on the face of it, it's not a bad result. But in the grand scheme for things, we're now 5 points behind Manchester City. And this game, it was so fine. The margins were so tight. 2 breakaway goals, 2 set piece goals, 1 for each side. So there weren't much to split the 2 sides. But what I'd say is Arsenal, I'm confident we're the better side. And Liverpool, yes, they will be dangerous this season, but I can only see 3rd place for them. And Arsenal only gonna get any higher if there's a collapse or capitulation for Man City and a crazy turn in form and fortunes as we got too many injuries. People just dropping like flies. But questions were answered. We had the new world class versus the old world class. Salah, Saka, both of them scoring the opener and the equalizer. So I think we can say Salah is the original world class as he's been doing it for so many years. That's just not a question no more. And Saka, he's just starting. He just needs one of the big ones to solidify his status as a world class elite footballer. But hopefully that comes in due time. Next game, Palace 1, Spurs 0. Just like my prediction, I said I smell danger. I smell danger. I went with 2-1 West Ham, but I changed at the last minute to 2-1 United as I remembered Kudus weren't playing. I should have stuck with that. But with this one, I went with 2-1 Palace, and although it was 1-0, we got that right. Mateta with the only goal of the game, which takes Crystal Palace out of the relegation zone, their first win. Now there's only 3 teams without a win this season. And the goal, Eze. Oh God, that assist. That is probably the assist of the season. He literally just done a crazy flick to Mateta in the air and he just buried the goalkeeper. Tottenham in that first half, you could say it was a bit of an even game, but once the second half came, Palace were creating chance after chance, especially pushing on later on in that game. And Tottenham should have been down to 10 men. We've seen it again. This is the second week in a row after the Saliba red card. We've seen a similar situation. And they keep making up different excuses, saying he was running away from goal. Yeah, I could be running in one direction and touch the ball another direction and I'm through on goal. So how can it not be a red? How is it not a red? This is a disgrace. You referees, we might need to start a segment soon. There might need to be a segment. We're going on VAR watch. I think we're going to go on VAR watch from this weekend to see the disgraces, and we'll give them praise when they get it right. Yeah, we're doing VAR watch because I've had enough. Every week we have to talk about referees. The Arsenal game. Why did he blow the whistle for a foul on Kai Havertz? I didn't even speak about that. There is so many things. Why did they let players kick the ball away? Why are we seeing the exact same incident we got a red card for play out in our face again and again and again? You might say there's an agenda. I don't know if there's an agenda. It sure feels like there's an agenda. But one thing I do know is referees in this country are incompetent. They are the biggest clowns in the football pitch. They're the biggest clowns in the football industry, no doubt in my mind. Incompetent, waste of money. We might as well get the robots in. Build the AI, get the robots in. Because at least I know that if I'm robbed, it's a malfunction. The AI just exterminate. Something happened. But I don't know what the referees have in their head. Whether they want to start some soap opera, whether they want to make Arsenal fans go mad. Maybe they want to make rivals laugh at Arsenal fans. Maybe they want to do it to other teams. It's like they're script writers. That's what the referees are. They're now script writers. They're not officials of the game, and it's a disgrace. That's my rant over. Next game, Chelsea 2, Newcastle 1. And Chelsea seem to be creeping up that table nice and slowly. Back up to 5th, and they're there on merit. In this game, one player showed his class, a cut above the rest. Cole Palmer, he's back. He was quiet against Liverpool last week, but this week he was back. And first he got a goal, but the VAR said his knee was just offside. He didn't time that run. But then the pass. The pass for the Pedro Neto assist to Jackson was exquisite. Eze probably has assist of the season. That is pass of the season, because that vision, he didn't even look. He just put the ball in the area where he knew Neto would be. He knew Neto had the beating of his defender. He put it in behind, and the rest is history. Neto squared it to Jackson. Oh, magnificent goal. Isak did pull one back, but Cole Palmer finished off the game. He finished it off. Great strike. Maybe Nick Pope could have done better, but that's what happens. Low and hard, hit it early, give the goalie no chance. And that's what happened. He got his man of the match. I'm sure he did, because he was the difference maker. But Alexander Isak, oh God, he was violating. He beat the goalkeeper. Just square the ball into the middle. The man wants to do step overs. The man wants to do Ronaldinho. His head is fully off the boil. I'm telling you that for free. Newcastle, you need to get rid, because he's finished. As in, he's still a very good player, but I can see that's a man whose head is thinking about a move. His performance levels have dropped. His standard of play has dropped. And now he's doing this. All he had to do was square it, and I think that was at 1-1. It might have been 2-1, but still. Now Newcastle are 5 without a win. Next game for them is Arsenal. It'll be hard luck for them to turn up that game, but still. Tough times for the Geordies after a great start to the season. Manchester City 1, Southampton 0. Erling Haaland versus Southampton. He got the goal, and I'd probably say that Ramsdale should have done better, because that just seemed like it was straight at him. It was just too slow. He didn't react. That's probably why we got rid of him. Goals like that, I feel like Raya would have saved that. I feel like other goalkeepers would have saved that. That just looked like a straightforward save to make. Just tip it over the bar. But he just was too slow. Didn't react. Haaland, only goal of the game, but he could have had at least a hat-trick. He had one cleared off the line. He missed the open goal. And I triple captained him this week. It was a disaster for me. I can't believe it. What a waste of a triple captain. I thought he was going to do the damage against Southampton, and he sure did have the chances. He must have had at least 6 or 7 shots, and he should have scored a hat-trick, but he didn't. And bummer for me. But City, they still look a bit vulnerable on the break. You can tell Rodri is missing, because Southampton, they had a golden chance. Broke through on goal. Cameron Archer probably could have just composed himself and dinked it over Edison, but he never, and he just smashed it at the bar. And that's your lot. Like I said, with Man City, if you don't finish your dinner, they will, because they are very dangerous. They are inevitable. for Southampton, they are improving, but they keep losing week in, week out. They just can't get points. They can't get the job done. It's not looking good for them. Last point on Man City Southampton, we have a new Ballon d'Or winner, and he is Rodri. So congratulations to Rodri, only the third player in the Premier League era to win the Ballon d'Or behind Owen and Ronaldo. So round of applause for you, my friend. Brentford 4, Ipswich 3. Oh, what a game. This was the game of the weekend. Brentford, the G-Tech. That has got to be the most entertaining stadium in the league, because I think it was 2 games ago, their last home game, 5-3 against Wolves. One thing you know what you're going to get at the G-Tech is goals. Goals, goals, goals. They must have probably won at least 4 out of 5 games here this season. So Brentford, they're on a very, very good run, and just in time as Johan Wissa is back. The Cramp Twins. I said in the prediction, the Cramp Twins, they're going to do the damage, and they did. Wissa was robbed of a goal because they gave it offside, but both his goals, just nice finishes. That's all you ask for. And Mbeumo, oh, he got a penalty, he scored a penalty and a cross. So these two, they're just inevitable. And I can't see Brentford keeping on to both of them. Surely someone's got to make a bid. Where's the bids? Arsenal, why did we get Sterling? Give 70 million to Brentford for Mbeumo. Get him in. Because he's always scoring. He's always scoring. He's doing something. And that's in Brentford. I have a feeling at a bigger club, he will do the damage. He'll do the business. Him, Kudus. There's so many players that we should be looking at. They both play on the right, left-footed. We don't need a Saka replacement. That's challenge, competition. Because if he's not there, they will do the business. So go and get these players, Arteta. No more defensive players. We've had enough. Bring attackers. Strengthen the attack. So yeah, the Cramp Twins done the damage. Ipswich, you killed yourself. Naive, naive, naive. 2-goal lead. Just hold on to it. Hold on to half time. You can't do that. You get back into the game again at 3-3. Ah, then you lose in the 90th minute. Ah, you get a man sent off. Ah, McKenna, it's lucky I pulled out all my stocks in Ipswich. I pulled out at the right time. It was perfect. The pull-out game was perfect with these stocks, and I don't regret it. Next game, Villa 1, Bournemouth 1. I said this would be a close game, and it was. But once again, I feel like there was 2 decisions in this game. They won't be spoken about because the referees, they seem to be getting away with it. This is why we got to start our VAR watch. The McGinn goal, they said the ball gone out, but it didn't look clear to me. That didn't look like it was clearly gone out. I seem to remember Arsenal versus Newcastle. The ball was out. It looked out. They started doing it. There was a clear gap between the line and the ball. A clear gap. But they said, oh, the ball is a circle. So it looks like it might be out, but we don't know if it's out. And from the angle that I saw, it looked like a bit of the ball was on the line still. But they still said offside. McGinn denied. Then Bailey jumping for the ball. It's a clear handball. It is clear as day. No penalty. The referee in this season, oh, every season I believe it gets worse. There's been so much controversy this season, but the games have been so exciting that I feel like it's taken all of the eyes off VAR. VAR this season are running riot. They're going crazy with decisions. They're going mad, constantly ruining games. And this is another game that I believe was ruined by VAR. They just robbed people. But yeah, Ross Barkley put Villa in the lead in this game in the second half. And when you're thinking Villa are going to see it out, late drama again. Bournemouth send their goalkeeper up as well. Evan Nielsen gets, I believe that's his third goal of the season for Bournemouth since his move. So I can see him at least getting 10 goals. So it's not the worst Solanke replacement. Bournemouth, they just continue to take points off teams near the top. That was a chance for Aston Villa to solidify third position and go above Arsenal, but they failed to take it. Next game, Everton 1, Fulham 1. Iwobi came back to haunt his old side. Fulham had the better chances in that first half, much better chances, and they took the lead through Iwobi. Brilliant play from Smith Rowe. Great dribble in and out of the Everton midfield. Played it into Iwobi and he done the rest. Great finish. Idrissa Gana Gueye had a great strike, hit off the bar. Dominic Calvert-Lewin put in the ball, but he was offside. And I'm starting to think, what does this Dominic Calvert-Lewin guy do? It's proper, like, what happened to that Calvert-Lewin that Ancelotti got hold of? When Ancelotti got hold of him, he weren't messing around. Even Duncan Ferguson, when he got hold of him, he weren't messing about. But now, he looks finished. And the man that got the equaliser, Beto, you could see the passion when he scored that equaliser in that last couple of minutes. He must be furious, thinking, how can I not start? This Calvert-Lewin guy is playing every game, wasting chance after chance, being more of a hindrance than a help to his side, and I can't get a game. And that was all let out in that celebration. Fulham, another one of the teams to bottle a lead late on. This season is a very, very fascinating season because it seems like it don't matter if you take the lead, just keep going. Teams are going to capitulate. And this is what seems to be happening. Brighton 2, Wolves 2. This game, another one. Who needs a 2-goal lead? What does it mean? It's like 2-goal lead now is no good. You just don't want it no more. Because you just have a feeling someone's going to come back from a 2-goal lead. It seems to be happening every week. I already know Everton's probably done it twice. I think Leicester have done it once. Palace have done it once. So that's quite a few teams already. That's already 4. That's probably 4 different game weeks where teams have let a 2-goal lead slip. And I'm almost certain there's more. Southampton last week, 5. So in this game, Danny Welbeck continues his scoring form. He gets a brilliant goal on the edge of half time. They get the goal, they take the lead. You're thinking, oh, brilliant for Brighton. Another player comes back. I don't know where he's been. I don't know why he hasn't been playing. But Evan Ferguson, he got his first of the season. A man that was in demand a few seasons ago. That's why you have to cash in. You can't keep saying 100 million, 120 million. What? Because now look, Evan Ferguson's probably worth 25 million. So maybe you get him scoring again, then cash in. Unless you believe that he is your future, then you keep him. But a player, Jose Sa, he always looked suspect to me. And I believe it was the Welbeck goal, I believe. He just passed it out to the Brighton players. Every time he plays, I'm thinking, this guy's suspect. I don't know what happened to Sam Johnson, whether he got dropped or he's injured. But with Sarr at the back, Wolves, they always have a chance to concede. Nouri pulled one back around 87th minute, and you're thinking, it's too late. Surely nothing can come of this. It's way too late for Wolves to get anything from this game. They have a 4v1 break. 4v1. All you have to do is pass the ball to someone's feet. 4 versus 1. You have 3 options. You could even continue dribbling. But no. What did he do? He passes the ball to a defender. I don't know what player that was. But if that was my player, he's not playing the next game. He has to think about his decisions. Wolves break, and who other than Cunha slots it home via a deflection, crossbarring in. Brighton devastated. And that player, I don't know who he was, but I don't think that he should start the next game. That was a disgrace for me. Wolves, at least they're off the bottom now. They're off the bottom. Second point of the season. So now they've got a good run. They don't have to play teams really in the top half of the table. I can almost guess probably 7 out of their next 8 games are against teams in the bottom half of the table. So this is your time to make a run. You should be aiming for at least 12 points from your next 8 games. Anything less, maybe you need to start looking for a new manager. And the Friday game was Nottingham Forest 3, Leicester 1. We spoke about that on the preview because it was on Friday, and it was the Chris Wood show. 2 goals from him. He's the one who was the difference. Forest were briefly up to 5th. Now they've slid down the table. Now we'll go into the predictions and also the table. So the predictions. I got the Forest game wrong. Aston Villa, I predicted a 2-1 win. They drew 1-1, so not too far off. Brentford 4-3. I predicted a 3-0. Brighton, I went with the win, but they drew. Man City predicted a 5-0. Southampton kept it down to 1. Everton and Fulham draw, got it right. Chelsea, I went with 2-2, was 2-1, not too far off. Palace, I got right as well. Man United, I changed that at the last minute. I went with West Ham 2-1, but I changed it to Man United 2-1. That's why you shouldn't change. And also, Arsenal, I went with 2-1, drew with Liverpool 2-2. So, a mixed bag. A few close results were wrong, but what's wrong is wrong, and what's right is right, I guess. So, now we'll go into the Premier League table. Manchester City lead the way, 23 points, quietly going about their business. Liverpool in second, they dropped down one place. Arsenal remain in third, level on points with Villa. Chelsea 1 point behind. Brighton also 1 point behind Chelsea. Their man Nottingham Forest. Then it goes all the way down to Tottenham in eighth. If we go all the way down to the bottom now, Southampton on 1 point. Wolves now off the bottom with 2 points. Ipswich slide down into the relegation zone, and Palace have found their way out. And Man United, they're now in 14th position. That is shocking, shocking, shocking. But yeah, guys, that's been the Premier League review show for game week 9. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel. I'm out. Bless people.